area that she is comfortable in to play, which is what I like about her, Rashada Williams.
And she gets stronger. Trust me, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with in world cricket, Rashada Williams. And she's driving in the air and almost gave her hand away there, losing her shape there. And really, Rashada Williams playing a little bit out of context. Wanted to go over the top in two minds, and the cutters of the clerk really didn't have any pace on it. And I think that's what really fooled Rashada Williams. He was up into the air, and the mid-on fielder was darting in for all her worth. And as Stacey and King said, luck going the way of Rashada Williams here so far this morning. The clerk in out the bowl to Williams again, picking up the line, leaving out the stump there. And maiden over, the first for the day, 4 overs bowl. West Indies are 14 without loss. Rashada Williams remains on 6. Her partner in Boyce is on 4. The current run rate is 3.50, and the clerk's first 2 overs has cost her 3 singles.
Yeah, playing out of character, Rashada Williams. The last 3, at least 3 chances, just dropping short of fielders. Possibly the fact that Matabasa Class and
SWB audio
no
capture
opening from
not
Marizan
registered.
Kapp and Ismail, just the change of bowling and what is being presented to her, just probably flustering her a little bit.
Just got a bat. Here is
beautiful
Windies boys driving, straight drive down the ground, 4 runs. No need to follow that. That's a lovely on drive there by Windies boys.
Yeah,
and when you see that, you really know that that's a class of a real opening batsman. And not many folks can play an on drive. And that was good balance. She really kept low. Good work here by Asbert and his crew. And that was beautifully struck. Jacqueline Williams had to scurry out of the way. And just for a moment, Masabata Class thought that she had something.
Yeah, but her follow-through in her bowling action after she bowled, she continued down that line. A good position from Renee's boys, playing it more to her right,
Picking
not
up
being able to get a hand.
her 9th run, and she just whipped that down to the wide fine leg area, more or less. She's rehearsing that I should just clip that over to the square leg area, but she's going to have to keep her balance. Masabata Class is up for the challenge here. Not for 16. She's into her 3rd over. I like her pace. She's got some good juice. Class in out the bowl to Rashada Williams. Rashada Williams on top of this. Well played. All round cricket. Lizard League coming around there and cutting that one off. South Africa started with a slip, a gully, backward point, cover, mid on, mid off, short mid wicket, a wide thirdsman and a wide fine leg, more or less. Not in the established fine leg area, but a little wide. Williams is getting a short ball, gets on there. That's well played.
Yeah, very well left. And this is what Matabata Class will do. She will get in a short ball because she's quite quick. Really good on South Africa to at least have her in their armory in terms of a 5th pacer, a 5th quality pacer who is not in the starting 11, is not a regular starting 11. So that just shows how much their bench strength and their reserves, the depth of their reserves.
Williams just rushing her pad there, Class, getting a leg by. Jacqueline Williams will come around in a ballerina style. Up goes the left foot, and she taps a couple of times, gets it right. Jamaicans always produce some special athletes, so Jacqueline Williams will be a special one here too. 20 without loss, went over number 5. We're still into the power play segment. So good morning once again to Richard Berridge. Happy Independence Day, my brother. Here's boys easy on the eyes. Just didn't stay over it long enough. Just if she just stayed, she would have been able to just head through the line of that. Williams is 6, Boyce is 9. Class first 3 overs has cost her 16 runs.
I like this start. It's very positive from these two, Boyce and Rashada Williams. No risk being taken in terms of the last couple balls has all been driven confidently. I just wish that they can continue with this for a longer period. Just not just to get runs for the team, but for themselves as well. This is the 5th and final ODI.
Your last game is always important. The clerk in now to bowl to Rashada Williams, who's more or less just getting in line, opening the face of the bat, and she will tell you she stayed that down to Masabata Class at third man. She picks up her 7th run, and the score goes up to 21 without loss. It now brings Boyce into strike.
Yeah, she picked that gap perfectly, Rashada Williams.
SWB audio capture,
slip, almost in a
not
second slip
registered.
position and gully, and was just able to get through that area.
Nadine Clark from the Sir Andy Roberts end bounds away in now to bowl to Boyce, and Boyce is defending nicely. Well played. Kept her eyes on the ball. Also thinking about the single, but changed her mind in the end because it came off the bat so sweetly that it sped up to the cover fielder, and she had to check her position very quickly and got back into her crease. 21 without loss. West Indies batting first. It's the West Indies women team as the clerk comes in now to bowl to Boyce, and Boyce is just getting herself into a little tangle and trying to play around the ball. Missed it completely.
Yeah, she just needs to play it straighter for longer. And she will remember that in that 4th ODI, she would have gotten caught out playing to that leg side. Just trying to turn a straighter ball into that leg side area and got caught. It's a weakness, but it's also a strength that she has because she's a very powerful sweeper.
Here comes Clark, comes in now to bowl to Boyce. Boyce is coming forward. See, that one, I would just really just like her to just play with the top hand and just get a single, but take the strike because the South African fielders inside the 25-yard circle are deep because they know the power of Boyce.
Good bowling from Nadine de Klerk thus far.
20.
Just 4 runs off her overs.
21 without loss. Boyce is driving loosely and really didn't. Both feet went, and the left foot didn't really come right out to the pitch of the ball, and she was going hard at that ball. Her eyes opened up once she saw that, but she just needed to just keep her shape a little longer.
Stay a bit composed, a lot more composed, because her eyes did open up when she saw that wide delivery.
SWB audio capture,
She's
not
driving
registered.
in the air over the 25-yard circle and down to the boundary for 4. So Boyce is on the go here. She quickly goes up to 13, and the score goes up to 25 without loss at the end of over number 6. West Indies batting first here against South Africa, scoring at a run rate of 4.17. Boyce is 13, Williams is 7, and the clerk's first 3 overs has cost her 8 runs.
Yeah, not much in control, but again, because most of the fielders are on the ring, she's just able to clear with that big edge, clear that circle. But again, confident, she's seeing that the ball is in that arc, just on the outside off, where she can play freely. So a shot that gets her a reward.
But she's going to have to be very careful. Sukukini replaces Class pretty early. What you thought, my dear? Class only bowled 3 overs.
Yeah, but she was a bit expensive. Couple boundaries going to her. Yeah, she's bowled 3 overs, 16 runs, 10 dot balls. Economy rate of 5.33. Just a bit expensive.
On the money is Sukukini. Straight to Rashada Williams.
And I think this is what West Indies batters will have to take advantage of. There's no Marizanne Kapp. There's no Shabnam Ismail. These new bowlers, Nadine de Klerk and Matsabata Class, and now Toomey, you want to put pressure on them because they have the new ball, so you want to put some pressure on them as well.
Yorker length delivery from
Well
Sukukuni.
played.
Well played, well bowled. All round cricket real good. 25 without loss. Sukukuni seems like she's got a little pep into her step here this morning. And the competition for places has been real
SWB audio capture,
tussle for South
not
African
registered.
selectors. So everybody's stepping up. Your last game is always very important. Here is Rashada Williams playing a naughty shot. She's upset with herself. And maybe the right foot just needed to just go back a little bit. And just too close to her. to play that shot. Don't know how you feel.
I think she's playing for pace, and Tumi Sukukuni is not as pacey as the others. So she may just have to make some adjustments as to where she stands and possibly just come out the crease a bit to face Tumi. But she'll just have to wait a bit longer to play that shot.
Here comes Sukukuni. And she turns from the circuit and Ambrose, and it comes in out the ball to Williams. Williams driving, on drive, down the ground for 4. That's a lovely on drive. Beautiful cricket shot. Wow. 29 without loss. This is Rashada Williams on show.
Yeah, classic.
Oh.
Timing was perfect. A full length delivery over pitch delivery, almost like a Yorker length delivery. Just gets into that stride, Rashada Williams, and drives it past that mid-on area. Matsabata class had no response for that ball. Tried to dive, but couldn't get there.
Sukukuni in out the ball to Rashada Williams, and she's just playing it late beautifully. They can get a couple of runs here. Is Boyce interested? Rashada Williams is certainly coming back. I think she's struggling, but she's just got to get out on her bike there. Had that throw been maybe on target, she might have been in some problems. Sort of got off late. There was a hesitation between Boyce and herself, and I think that would maybe change the whole mind. When she turned, she looked as if, even though she said 2, a little hesitation, but she got there in the end because the throw was wide. She goes to 13. Both batters are on 13. Boyce 13. Williams, who's facing on 13. 31 without loss. And she comes quietly forward. Like the wall of Gibraltar. Over number 7 completed. 31 without loss. The West Indies, there's a buzz. The 15th ODI captain, DeAndre Dottin, is in charge. 31 without loss. They're scoring a 4.43. Their best opening partnership of the 5-match series so far.
And that's impressive. And again, as you mentioned, saving the best for last. And possibly this is it.
This is it. I like that.
But this is good to see the composure of the opening pair. Teams need good starts. You've seen it with South Africa throughout the series. It's good now that West Indies, even though in the 5th game, can do this.
Nadine de Klerk in out the ball to Boyce. Boyce is just turning this beautifully. She played it real late. And Sukukuni comes off the boundary. And just lobs it very quickly to the keeper. She goes to 14. West Indies go up very quickly to 32 without loss. Their best start so far of the series.
And again, we all know they can do it. We know that they have the potential, they have the talent. But again, the application. And this is good. 14 of 22 for Boyce and 13 of 21 for Williams.
Williams just punching up the middle.
So spending time and rotation, which is something that they haven't done quite well previously, West Indies women. Just strike rotations, knowing when to take singles and the importance of it, especially in the middle overs. And they are going to be tested again today.
Yeah, by the time the South African spinners come on. But in the meantime, they're building a platform here. And Boyce looks good. She's impressive so far. And she's playing around a straight delivery and outside the line of the leg stump. I just think that her head tends to fall over. I don't know how you feel, Stacey and King.
And just having a conversation with herself, first of all, Renice Boyce, because she knows that is exactly what she does not want to do.
But she's got to
tends to play around her legs.
Because she has to open and turn her hips. She don't turn her hips. What actually happens is that she just falls over and just looks to whip, really. The left foot really needs to, and she got to bring her hips around so that she can be able to play that ball. But she's talking to herself, and Rashada Williams called her down very quickly, said, come on, keep going. That's a lot better.
Just keep straighter for longer.
Yes.
I mean, it's not time just yet. Ball is still new. It's still swinging about.
It's almost like when you're playing in England, as West Indians, you like the ball on the legs. Once it comes on the legs, you open up. So you just got to be a little bit more patient. That top hand has to work a little bit more. She's talking to herself. Coach Robert Samuels would have been reminding us. She would have seen everything on the video analysis here, driving much better.
Yeah, that's much better. That's what she needs to do. Just keep playing through those V's for longer. Eventually, the ball will get older. You'll be able to play those paddle shots, those flick shots, as it may be, off your pads. 33
without loss. Boyce is 14. Williams is 14. This is An impressive start here by the West Indies opening pair in Boyce and Williams. Boyce is bowled! Just as Stacey and King said, the impatient playing around a delivery there and not straight enough, and head going over there, and in fact the bat face is looking to mid-wicket. Boyce bowled by the clerk, and at this level you gotta be patient, and Boyce just succumbs to the pressure.
Yeah, had a good start, but again, you could see that Nadine de Klerk was getting to her on that line that is sort of uncomfortable for her. Once the ball is pitched in a straighter line, she tries to play on the onside. And clearly that's what we're seeing now. She'd be disappointed with this start, Renice Boyce. Got a start of 14 of 26 balls.
And only 8 overs bowled.
Couldn't
Today would have
carry
been a good day. You got 300 balls. Just spend some time at the crease.
SWB audio
It's almost as
capture,
if she was
not
trying to win the
registered.
game within the 8th over. And with so much overs to go, she'll be very, very, very disappointed with herself, boys. She goes back to the pavilion, but you can't learn in the nets. You have to learn in the middle.
Just to spend some time. That's all she needed to do. Spend time, work it out. Find a way, as Vasper Drakes used to say to us. Find a way, work out your own salvation kind of thing.
Good morning, Vazzy. Good morning to Henderson Springer, my brother. 33 for 1. 8 overs bowled. We're still into the power play. West Indies have just lost. Boys, bowled all over the shop, as we would say. And you've got to defend your castle. You can't afford to let anybody hit your castle. And the clerk strikes for South Africa. Out comes Shady Nation. As we look and see what's going to be happening. But she's not facing. It's Williams. Sukukuni now to bowl to William. William is driving beautifully. Would have the legs to get away for 4. It does. They save it. So at hesitation again. That's got to be 3 runs. It's got to be positive. And she only got 2. As I was hit towards the wide mid-on area.
And that's good feeling from the South Africans. Good backing up as well. Because Matabata Class would have run, given chase. And Tasmin Brits was just there for when she pulled it back. That's very good work.
35 for 1. Here is Williams getting in defense and just turning it to the short mid-wicket fielder. And the score remains on 35 for 1. West Indies have lost. Boys bowled by the clerk for 14. Their best opening stand so far in the 5-match series. Deandra Dottin becomes the 15th West Indies ODI captain. We say congratulations to Deandra.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Wide delivery, wide ball, everything wide. Score goes up to 26. So too is Jacqueline Williams, who's waving wide also. 36 for 1. Sukukuni. It's a lovely day here in St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda. Not much breeze, not a powerful breeze, but enough to keep everybody cool. Sukukuni is going to bowl to Williams, who's 16. And she's dropped. Hit that back to her, and Sukukuni be very disappointed. In fact, I just thought that Rashada Williams should have been maybe going over the top rather than here. We get to the pitch of the ball, and just a little bit out of character for her now and again, and she gets a lifelong chance, as we would say. Nation calls her down and says, "Take it easy."
It was a good attempted drive as well, just uppish. And if she's going up, then go over to me, because she's not the tallest of players. But again, being in half follow through, probably not expecting it to come through as hard as it did.
So let's look at the field placing now. So you realize what's happening now. So they're going to bowl Rashada Williams a lot more straighter. So they have a short mid-wicket, a short extra cover right in front of her, mid-on, mid-off, and a mid-wicket. And she's driving beautifully down to the boundary for 4. Misfield. And is it Masabata Class? She's upset with herself for not feeling that delivery at mid-on, but it was hit hard.
It definitely was. Her timing was spot on once again, Rashada Williams. And even though Liz Ali's in that short catching position to try and stop those shots, it got through. Matabata Class.
She's undriving the ball sweetly. And that one, I think, she really hit that. It was like into her arc, and she says, yes. Coach Robert Samuels, you know, he's serving up
SWP
these
audio
lollipops,
captured,
and
not
this was a
registered.
lollipop. Down the onside, the keeper already going down the leg side. They halted the appeal. The score is on 40 without one, 40 for one. Rashada Williams is playing beautifully so far. She's got a chance in this over, but she responded with a lovely on drive. Even though we would say it's a misfield by Masabata class, it came off the bat sweetly. She's 20, so Kukuni's been a little bit expensive, not for 13. And coming down on a good Yorker delivery. Over completed, 9 overs bowled here so far. The West Indies is the best start so far, 4.44. And now we look like we're into a cricket game.
It's definitely the best start that they've had. 40.
And I think Courtney Walsh is deciding that they're going to invest in her, especially at the longer version of the game. It's also look like somebody who wants to bat for a very long time. 40 for one.
And Nadine de Klerk continues.
Oh, she has to. She's been the wicket taker. Nation playing around the delivery outside her stump. No need for her to try anything different. Indian Premier League starting today, like I said to you. CSK, they're 24 for 3. So that's going to be an exciting game. And we have Oman and Nepal taking place also today. Scotland, Zimbabwe, England and New Zealand. England scored 197, New Zealand
SWP
69
audio
for 3 or
captured,
15 overs.
not
And that is in
registered.
the second ODI of the women's game. Then we have Zimbabwean women and Namibia. Namibia won by 84 runs. No, they need 84 from 48 balls, so that's going to be an exciting encounter. So lots of cricket happening all around the world. And Stacey Ann?
And I think in the women's part of things,
In the Africa zone.
no, that match, that second game, ODI international between England and New Zealand, because England already lead the series 1-0. And then there's a big matchup coming, Australia versus India. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. A lot of female cricket fans, especially, because they also are going to feature a test in that series.
Very important. 41 without loss. Nation is not. She's batting at number 3. And Nation is a little bit under some pressure. She's not performed for the West Indies women's team. Could this be her day? There's competition for places. The Clerk in out about the Nation. Nation coming down hard in delivery up the middle. And getting an easy single. So she's off the mark. And the score goes up to 42 for 1.
Also, the USA team has announced their squad for USA for qualifiers in Mexico. So the Americas qualifiers would be in mid-October. USA is preparing for that. They've named their team.
Shabani Basker, who played for the Leeward Islands, captain original of the USA team. I don't know if they've named the captain yet. But she has been really a servant to women's cricket. So we wish her all the best. She's been in good form also in the United States of America. 42 for 1. Coming up next is a double change. The S's. The S's batters,
SWP
we'll
audio
call them.
captured,
Sylvester Bounce and
not
Joseph.
registered.
What was his golf score yesterday? Got to pick his brain and find out what is happening. Defending nicely. And over number 10 comes to an end. More comments from you, Stacey and King. And then we'll have a double change. It'll be Seth Burton. Pastor Seth Burton. And then Sylvester Bounce.
Yeah, good start from West Indies women, 42 for 1 in the first power play. Williams still there on 20. She's really been the stalwart for West Indies women. She previously had 2 impressive scores, and 37 of 79 and 42 in the fourth ODI, 42 of 90. Really determined innings from her.
Morning, Stacey Ann.
Good morning.
So nice to be beside you. I know Sylvester is itching to come in, but it would be good to just spend at least an over with you. Your input is so critical through this passage. And since you have that distinction, the triple distinction in West Indies women's cricket. Oh, good drive. This one hitting the bowler's hand. And it's a good chase, in fact, for the fielder coming down at long on. A good run on the part of Williams. Williams is looking good.
Yes, she is.
And one thought that perhaps she could have been an opening choice, an option at the beginning of the ODI, having seen her progress. She's really putting up her hands. That's what we spoke about that other players should be doing. Sikuhuni is really rearing to go. So the only success so far for the South Africans would have gone to de Klerk. This one lined outside the off stump. De Klerk bowling well,
audio
but
capture,
I thought
not
Renice
registered.
Boyce also did an excellent job in partnering Williams. They put together a partnership of 32 runs. Good to see that start by the West Indies women.
And we keep saying that they're capable of doing it. At no point do we ever expect them to fail whilst being out there. But again, the application has to be there. Boyce and Williams would have played previously for the A team. Renice Boyce being the captain for the A team. Of course, Rashada Williams has a lot of experience in terms of regional cricket. And clearly, she's shown like maturity beyond in just her 5th game.
And that's what we want to see. We want to see players putting up their hands. And that gives even Hayley Matthews a chance to rest and come in the middle order to accompany the more experienced DeAndre Dottin. And it's good to see players taking that critical issue. Just one point to ponder. The last 4 matches between the West Indies and South Africa, of course, taking a 4-0 lead in this ODI series. South Africa winning by 8 wickets, then winning by 9, then by 8 wickets, then by 35 runs. But we go back to 2018, and when those teams met in Bridgetown, Barbados, the West Indies would have won by 115 runs. We'll get back to that as Nation drives. Good stop by Lee. So, what would have been that massive change? I know in that game, Hayley Matthews got 100, and also DeAndre Dottin got a half century. Sorry, I beg your pardon. And you're seeing almost the same names, but that's a 3-year difference.
I remember the 22nd of September 2018. Hayley Matthews scored her 117 on home soil.
On home soil, man. And the West Indies posting almost 300. That is an impressive, imposing.
But I'd always just go back to the fact that
not registered.
Yes, there's a Hayley Matthews, yes, there's a DeAndre Dutton. We haven't seen them come to the party really.
That's right.
But we were also missing a number of senior players. Stephanie Taylor, who isn't here. Then you have Shemaine Campbell, who is injured in rehabilitation at present. You also have Afi Fletcher, who's, again, her bowling is exceptional and she brings all-round cricket, bowling and batting. And then Brittany Cooper, who featured in the first 2 games, but again, injury, or is she still being looked at by medical staff? And again, you have Anisa Mohammed, Kaisia Kaishona. There's a number of players who are not featured on a regular basis. So I think that once a team really does come together in terms of there's all the senior and say that those World Cup players, then it will be
SWB audio capture, not registered. SWB audio capture, not registered. SWB audio capture, not registered. SWB audio capture, not registered.
Side. I'm not quite sure if she's not confident playing away from the crease, but not in a position that she can either. Well, on this occasion, she waited on it and played it back up on the onside.
Well,
What's the reason for that approach?
Is the way she positions herself when she's playing on the back foot. You know, she comes more to the leg stump, and her back foot is not square, so she tends to open up. You see, when you look at that, she every time she plays on the back foot, she looks like she want to play on the onside because she goes back to the leg stump and she's very face on to the bowler. She needs to be a bit more side on so she can even work the ball by the umpire or play to the offside.
See what. This time she flicks the ball in the air. The catch has been taken by Sukle. So wicket number 2 goes. Chidi Nation, the number 3 batsman for the West Indies, gives it away. One would have thought Van Nieker just tossing it up, going down leg, and it took the back of the bat. And a good catch for the South Africans. West Indies losing the 2nd wicket. Chidi Nation for 11. Sylvester Joseph 56 for 2.
Yeah, another simple dismissal, very easy on the part of Chidi Nation, and these are the type of outs that we have seen her, throughout so far. And it's too easy set. I mean, even to the 2 previous deliveries where she went back on her back foot, if her position was even right, she could have, nicked off a single or 2, and get herself off the strike. But she's looking to score, and the positive thing about her, I must say that she always looked to score, and that delivery probably, was a bit unfortunate. Got in the back of the bat. Probably she needed to watch the ball a bit longer and to the bat. She plays a bit
SWB
earlier.
audio capture, not registered.
Unfortunate for the West Indies team. I think the partnership was just, getting into stride, and every time through the series, the partnerships are looking to blossom. They get out very easily.
Yes, gets out very easily, and in comes the captain for the West for today's game. None other than Deandra Dottin, and she is somebody who can turn the game, but it would take some diligence and some patience on this occasion.
Well, she's going to be somebody that turns the game, whether it's for the West Indies' favor
or the South Africans' favor. Well said, Sylvester Joseph. Driven nicely by Rashada Williams. Straight driven. She just showed the face of the bat. And Van Nieker completing her successful over. She must be happy as the captain because she introduced herself shortly after the West Indies would have lost their first wicket. And now she has had a measure of success, 1 for 5 so far. And Dottin, who is yet to face, speaks to her young charge. And Rashada Williams, I'm sure, will be happy to be there with her captain. Your take, these two had a grand partnership when on that occasion it was the captain who took it away.
Yeah, I think Dottin will be very comfortable batting with Rashada Williams because, I mean, she's the foundation that you need. And I think both of them, they pair well together. Dottin is much more attacking, and if you should know that she has someone at the other end that can, will stay with her. And even Rashada Williams, she rotates the strike as well. So it's not like she's at batting and not rotating the strike. She's a proper batter.
Oh, nicely dabbed. Treon was just outside the off stump, and Rashada Williams steering this one down to 3rd man. 2 runs, that would be enough. A big chase there by Lee. So Williams sees
SWB audio capture, not registered.
She's on 25. 59 for 2. Tries to steer again. This one was smartly and cleverly pushed through by 3 on.
That one should have been cut harder. That one was shot right there.
You're talking like a batsman. That one should have been hammered through backward point
yeah, indeed.
for 4. But instead she was trying to repeat the dab. This time she plays it into the onside. And that's the interesting thing. The bowler was clever to push it through. But her mindset, I got 2, so let me try for 2.
2 more,
but had she been in position, she could have really spanned that one to the boundary for 4. Treon is in.
That's why you see, as a batter, it's important that you you don't really make up your mind too early of playing a particular shot. You know, you play each ball according to its merit. You know, and that is important.
But
so most often you will cash in on a bad delivery, maybe a half volley, a short ball. But if you make up your mind, you're gonna dab this one, you get a half volley. Your mind has already messed up. So you play each ball according to merit.
Excellent point, Sylvester Joseph, 59 for 2 after 15, and you're so right in that. And I think, though, batters who do that, who plays according to the merit, they have to be full of confidence.
Yeah.
That whatever comes, you can deal with it accordingly.
But I mean, you're prepared for that. I mean, you in practice, you in terms of TDs, you drive 150 balls, you play a back foot cuts, you know. So if you have to keep your mind clear, so that your body now and your mind will work together to play the shot according to the delivery that comes.
So DeAndre Dottin, the West Indies captain, will be facing her first. You can see the anticipation of the South Africans, Lee, watching
SWB audio capture
her
not
captain,
registered.
Vanika is about to come in. Dottin works this one and she gets off the mark nicely. They're coming through for a single. She just rolls and strolls.
Yeah,
just rolling the wrist over.
Nice.
Taking care of that.
Yeah,
picking the gap.
Yeah.
Not all about power. It's about precision. Williams drives. Does not get too far through the ring. They have 4 fielders in that ring between point, backward point, cover, extra cover, and a middle, all in a ring. And Rashada Williams is very strong on the onside. This time she works it square of the wicket and did not get a single. But let's look at it on the field. They have posted 3 fielders on the boundary on the onside, 4 fielders in the ring on the offside, and Williams just taps it down and thought that she would have called DeAndre Dottin for the single.
Brilliant work there by the wicketkeeper.
Exactly, good work.
Yeah, very alert.
Smart thinking approach. Not give up the single. This time here's Williams steering this one down to third man. Is it going to win the battle? No, there is a big chase being put on by the fielder who comes around, sends the return in, but they have gotten in rather easily. A bit of sloppy fielding in the end by the South Africans, and you can see it that the captain was not pleased with the response on that occasion. I think it may have been Lara Goodall who would have picked that up.
You saw sloppy feeling there by the South Africans. I saw brilliant one in there by Dottin. She came back, Rashada Williams like she settled for the 2. But Dottin, I just
SWB audio capture not registered.
She's always positive in everything that she does, and that can only uplift the team when you're batting with someone. You know that that thing is gonna play positive, whatever she does. Whether it's for a short time or a long time, it's going to be positive.
And that's cricket, as we see it's break time here. That is cricket. You don't just play bat to ball, but your alertness, your game sense, you have a sense of what is happening when you're running to the danger end, and the teams are taking a break. But Sylvester Joseph, as they take a break, we will just look at what has happened, recap a bit. The West Indies won the toss in this, the 5th and final CG Insurance ODI between the West Indies and South Africa. Instead of inserting the South Africans, which they have done quite a bit in the series, they opted to bat. Renice Boyce was the first to go for 14. 26 deliveries, she had 2 fours, played rather well, contained herself in that partnership with Rashada Williams, who remains not out on 28 and is anchoring the innings well. In the meantime, though, after Boyce went, Chidin Nation, she came in, tried to stabilize a bit, but after batting well with Williams, she sort of gave it away. Got 11 off the bowling of the captain, Van Denika. And now it's Dottin, DeAndre Dottin, who has just joined Rashada Williams. And with the score on 63 for 2, these two would need to do what for the West Indies to get a good score? The bowling so far, Van Denika, 1 for 12. But before her, there was also, well, in fact, 1 for de Klerk. De Klerk was the one, Nadine de Klerk, who took the first wicket, 1 for 12. And from her 5 overs, an excellent economy rate of 2.4.
SWB audio capture,
the captain,
not registered.
having 1 for 9 from 3, a run rate of 3.0. It shows that herself and also Chloe Treon coming in as the spinners, trying to maintain a balance for the South Africans, because when you look at it, the medium fast bowlers were the ones who went for run. But what would you recommend at this stage for the West Indies after losing the first wicket for 33 and then the second for 56?
I think they need to continue in this vein. This partnership looking good. They look like they have good understanding. I mean, the running between the wicket has been excellent so far between these two. And the rotation of the strike, they're manipulating the spinners a bit. And, you know, and when Datin gets going, I think she's the key, you know, for West Indies' success and failure from this point. She has to continue, you know, to build herself and get herself in and just, you know, play the way that she knows how to play. I mean, she has to be a bit more respectful to some of these bowlers in terms of taking unnecessary risks so that they can get off to a respectable total. But she's the key. She's the key. That in for them to post, you know, a winning total, a competitive total. I think she's going to be the key. And Rashada Williams, she's going to stay. You know, she's going to fight as long as possible.
Jackie Williams is ready, and so is Chloe Treon. But I had to stop her, and Treon is smiling because someone was still retreating after the refreshment.
One of the groundsmen still.
Well played on the part of Williams. Williams graduating well from the A team, and that's what you want, to give those players that opportunity. A half century here would do her well. Should have gotten into the 40s. She would have gotten past 20, at least on 2 occasions.
SWB audio capture,
here.
not registered.
This time she goes back and she plays it well, but good tumbling save.
That's the shot they said. Unfortunately, she didn't really pick the gap like she wanted, but at least she got off the strike. But I mean, that is the shot that you're looking at, that short ball which she was dabbing at. Now she balanced herself and, you know, plays that a wonderful cut shot there.
So perhaps some discussions with Deandra Dottin, who is getting prepared to face, and she knows that she has the whole West Indies on her shoulders.
What do you think about the captaincy? I mean, Dottin and, you know, Matthews, Taylor is there, but I think their experience, if Taylor is not there, why one of them are not the captain?
Well,
I mean,
you see Sylvester Joseph, I am a purist. I don't see what other people see politics. I don't see I don't have the inside edge. But my thing is, my best cricketing brain must captain my team.
Okay.
And whereas we understand the nuances of teams and the team dynamics, and, you know, Taylor, you know, I have the greatest respect for her. So outside of her, my captain would have been Deandra Dottin. No disrespect to anybody.
So how
if
you
Taylor is not there, Deandra Dottin would captain my team.
So how you come to the conclusion that, in terms of, from what you said a while ago, in terms of your best brain, cricketing brain, how you come to the conclusion that Anisa Mohammed is not a better cricket brain than Dottin?
Okay, so no disrespect, don't get me wrong. The over has been completed, 17 over 64 for 2. Sylvester Joseph is joining me into a little bit of politics.
No,
but
I'm not.
Let me put it this way.
I'm asking you your personal opinion. How you come to such conclusion?
Well, I would love a player who
SWB
can
audio
carry
capture, not
and a player
registered.
who has the capacity. Nothing is wrong with Anisa. She has our
But she has
most
carried us-
wickets, and
she-
she has done well. But if you look at the performance of the team, she has not been able to engineer or in that direction. Deandra Dottin can carry a team with her batting more than any player in the current lineup, and with her bowling, she can provide you with that extra luxury. And I would like, when you step out there in that vein, you get the attention that everybody knows here comes the master player. And that is critical along with your understanding and appreciation of the game. Mark you, I said I don't have the inside edge. I don't know all the team dynamics issues. But I think that an authority figure, when I step out leading a team, that everyone must understand that is the brand of the team and that is the spirit of the team.
I agree totally with you in terms of the captaincy, because from my what I like as a former captain, I believe, you know, that a batsman, a batter, you know, should be a captain of the team. I don't. No, you have the keepers, yeah, who can see things and, you know, can bat, and their understanding of the game is vast. But when it comes to bowler, all rounder, I mean, they have some good captaincy, but I believe that a batsman, a top batsman, number 3 open batsman, should be the captain of any team.
You know, so Gary Sobers, I would go back to his comment a few years ago when folks were thought things were a bit murky and they wanted to politicize the captain leadership of the West Indies team when Clive Lloyd was going down. You were too young. Perhaps you weren't even born as yet.
No, I was.
Well, whether you
Clive
were...
Lloyd captain in the 80s.
Yeah, yes.
I'm a 70s baby.
SW
that's
audio capture,
Some
not
folks
registered.
didn't want to give I.V.A. Richards, and the comments, I was listening to the comments, and when they asked Gary said, he's the best batsman easily in the team. And the best batsman is the best thinker of the game. And he's the best thinker of the game, and he should be the captain.
The best batsman.
That settled it for me outside of my national bias, really. But I think your best batter, your best cricketing brain, which has to be a batter, who has to work out things. I know the bowler, but no bowler, you bowl an over at a time, and you may only participate in bowling for about 20% of the time you're in the field. So that batter needs to be focused on what is happening. That captain needs to be focused on what is happening in the field. And when you get out there to bat, you must draw some attention that they know they have to take your head off in order to defeat your team.
Well, Dottin, she has a responsibility in this game, and I think the captaincy also brings a level of maturity to you. It makes you think a lot, and it helps you as an individual also to, you know, to lift your game, because you. And I think this is good for her. I always believe that, you know, you have to give players like this the responsibility to
That's right.
To nurture the game. When you look at Ricky punching back in the day, these guys were
natural.
They were kind of wild, you know, partying and so forth. But when they get the responsibility of a captaincy, it changes the whole mentality.
That's right. Then you would have got some good captains. Here is Williams driving, good shot. Oh, but we see a bit of, do I call it a mix-up between our gamesmanship, between Chloe Trion and DeAndre Dottin?
In the NSC, they Trion tried to hold her, you know, in the gamesmanship. I like it. It's good for the game.
Master batter class, who would have opened the bowling. She's standing there hoping a catch could come her way. But here is, nice little dab by DeAndre Dottin down to third man. They're coming back for the second.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Know how to move, as Sylvester Joseph says. Play each ball on the merit. And what I like with her, the dab wasn't just standing and steering. The placement of the body and the head and the foot,
positioning,
you know, showed a margin of authority there. So Dottin is on 5. Chloe Trion to her, works the ball. Good diving stop in the end.
I mean, these girls, especially Dottin, Matthews, Taylor, these girls have been around the world playing in, you know, mixing with the best.
They're special talent.
Special, they have the experience, vast experience. And not only that, the other countries, they respect them in a different way.
That's right.
Yeah, so these are our basically in terms of the male. On the male side, you have Chris Gale, and when you see these guys step in any game, the Russells and so forth, in 2020 cricket, people respect them because they know what they're capable of doing. Not that they're doing it consistently now, but these figures, I mean, these girls have to, you know, take the West Indies women's team to another level.
Yes, and in that discussion, that brief discussion with Stacey and King this morning, you gather that they're still confident with half of the team injured. When I say half, this one's been flicked away nicely For the square Williams, they're coming back for the second. They will challenge the arm, and they have challenged it successfully. Shauna Williams pushes further in the 30s to 33, 72 for 2. But when she's saying that the amount of players who have been injured and who have been out, that they believe once the team is reassembled, they will be ready, and the West Indians should be more optimistic. Whereas one of our concerns is how you groom those from the A team, that next generation, to ensure that it is not just a few strong individuals, but it's a well-oiled
audio capture
machine that
not
comes
registered.
together, well fitted together for the task ahead. Here is Williams pulling this one nicely forward of square. A big run, 2 players onto it. Oh, they combine well. And in the end, really saving the day for what looked like 4, Sylvester Joseph.
Yeah,
Only
brilliant
resulted in 2 runs. It was really brilliant
her positioning,
interception by Tasmin Britt, who ran all the way from mid-wicket to square leg and collaborated well with Lara Goddard.
Well, you see, Rashada Williams. What I like, as an open batter, sometimes you struggle to pick up the spin, but she is as equally a good to the spin and the pace, and that is really good for her. And I think that she has a bright future. I understand. I understand what
And she's just 24. She has age on her side. Nobody better to be batting with than DeAndre Dottin at this stage. She would have loved to bat with Stephanie Taylor, but Stephanie is not here with the girls. This one is driven outside the off stump.
See where her left foot is, and her head is in the air. I think that is one of her key problem. She needs to get her head, close to the ball. Where your head goes, your foot will go.
After 20 overs, 74 for 2. Williams 35, Dottin 5. I would love to see Williams even in this team when Stephanie Taylor comes back, because I think she could just learn from that. You just spoke about the balance of being adept at both pace and spin.
But still, and when you look at her performance compared to what they had, it's not like they're just going to come back and she's just walk into the team. I understand what Stacey and King is saying in terms of the experienced players, but I think when they come, when they
audio
come back,
capture
they
not
have
registered.
I don't think that they can just go into the team and just leave Rashada Williams out from her performances during the A team and now being so consistent. She's a proper cricketer. She's not a hit and miss. When we look at Nation and these girls, sometimes they look good and so forth, but are they going to give us a big total? Are they going to give us a big score? She hasn't proven that yet in terms of Nation. She hasn't scored a half century yet for the team. So some of these girls that are coming back, Campbell, I know she's a very good player. She is for one, Afi Fletcher. She's experienced players as well, but they have Rashada Williams especially. I think has a bright future.
And as we look at the World Cup, the South African team, I think they're growing in leaps and bounds. I know all eyes are on Australia and India and England, New Zealand, but this South African team has improved so much over the years, and they are really doing well. Not only batting, bowling, fielding. We have seen a combination of not only Lissetley, the whole thing. We have Marizan Cap, and you come back down to the captain, and Volvat, she is special. You come back down, even Goddard, a whole team,
and the bowling perspective as well.
So it is not going to be an easy situation. DeAndre Dottin goes, trying to dab once again, and the delight of the wicket keeper, the delight of the South Africans as the West Indies captain walks back Sylvester Joseph. Excellent bit of work on the part of Jafta, the wicket keeper. Here was she looking to go back and dab this one, and Jafta taking the catch. She jumps with delight. Listen, Lee is also delighted there. And the West Indies losing wicket number 3. DeAndre Dottin, the captain, goes, and this is a critical part of the game. The West Indies 76 for 3 winning the toss and batting first.
Yeah, critical part of the game. I mean, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. She's been playing that shot pretty well. Unfortunate for her this time that she got a nick on that one, and the keeper took a brilliant catch again. But I mean, it's gonna be difficult for the West Indies team. We had a good partnership going. These two, like, they understand and appreciate batting with each other. And it's just unfortunate that she didn't really get the opportunity to go on a little longer. Welcome back, Vernon.
What was your sword? You
My
said you live by your sword and you die by your sword. So what do you liked? Cover drive?
I like batting.
76-3. Critical time to lose Darton.
Yeah, very. I think the partnership was just.
And we just only 21 overs. And, the sort of South African bowling that to come later in the afternoon, Darton stays there up to over number 40.
Yeah.
You could have some fireworks. She became the 15th West Indies ODI captain today. So, pretty exciting news for her. But a chance now for Hayley Matthews to really lift herself out of some form. The only major score for Hayley Matthews has been that 100 against Pakistan. Since then, she's almost like sort of gone off the ball for a little while. But I like the look of Rashada Williams so far. She's demonstrated patience and most of all has played within her limitations.
Yeah, and we saw that, we recognized that since the A-team series versus Pakistan, she had shown that this is the way that she plays. And sometimes you see someone
SWB audio capture not registered.
Consistently, you see that this is the way that she plays. She understands her game. There's a few technical things that I think that she needs to work on, especially on the offside. I think her head needs to go. She's very tall. You see, like that. I think her head needs to go more towards the ball. She places her left foot on like legs and middle stump, and the ball is outside the off stump. She needs to go closer to the delivery with her head, and things will be much better.
Well, it's a good observation, Sylvester. What I think actually happens is that she stays half cocked, and really, don't really go. She starts well in the stance right there. You see the movement at that time, and it differs, based on what you're saying, because just a while ago you could see her there picking up the line right there in terms of what's happening. So she's looking for a short ball, and she's looking for a ball that is pitched up. But like you could tell that she's a student of the game, and you could see that she's working in her mind what she wants to achieve, and that's what I like about her. So far, she's gone over our batting, so that shows you the level of fitness and her confidence. She's playing nice and straight.
She enjoys batting. Before I was a captain or anything, I'm a batsman. And when I especially in my younger days, when I go to the ground springs.
So you're still young?
Not playing. Playing a bit of golf. I'm good to golf. But what I say, when I go to the ground springs, my objective is to just bat. I'm a batsman. I can feel, but I don't really like to feel. And she's showing that she likes batting.
But from the first time I saw Sylvester, I think she scored. I had to go and look back for my stats quickly, but in the 18 tour game, you could just look at her. There was just something about her demeanor.
She
scored 100.
She scored 100 in that series there. So you know that, as you said, you have to invest, and you have to invest very, very, very quickly. Here is Rashada Williams just turning this and just picking up an easy single. And just saying, Sylvester, the investment has to start now. So we got to look for Rashada Williams. We got to look for a couple other players. The batting is going to be the major concern for the West Indies going forward. I
think Windies boys from the 18, what I see, the two players that really stood out for me that he can really invest in as part of the batting unit is Rashada Williams and Windies boys.
What about our little good friend there? I'll come back to her name right now. You know what I mean? Yep. Back and just turning, that's Hayley Matthews. You want to see the intent there. The intent is the Hayley just jogging. You've got to look to get to the crease. Leg by signal by Joel Wilson. Over number 22 is completed. West Indies are 77 for 3. Class is 4 overs, cost us 17. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Class. You like Class? Well,
Yeah.
you would have missed her from the folk game. She bowled with more pace than what you're seeing here today.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
mean,
she wasn't afraid to hammer in the bumper.
I was trying to watch, and
It got cut out.
yeah, I mean, I spoke to Seth and said that they blocked it. I don't know, but
Okay.
I was
That was
watching-
on YouTube?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
trying
well,
to
I
watch
think
it
they
on
blocked it on
because
YouTube.
I really don't
Yes.
have the flow up.
Yeah,
You know, I got
yeah.
it just the other day, but I was really watching and listening to see, to make sure that I'm in tune with you guys. Yeah, I mean the South African bowlers,
That's a
the
better
team.
class.
The team
They are on
overall,
team.
yeah, they have a
Yeah.
very good unit. They're well drilled, they experienced, and you see other young players coming in. You can see a mixture, and it's good to see that they're building towards the World Cup coming up.
Well, that has to happen. 78 for 3, Shangasi. Another spinner. And this is gonna
SWB
be
audio
critical for the West
capture,
Indies now,
not
especially in the middle
registered.
overs. And here is Haley Matthews just fishing at something that is really not there. I think this might have been the first time that we're seeing Shangasi in the series. So another new bowler, Sylvester said. Thinking about it. Let's see what's going to be happening. She comes in now to bowl to Haley Matthews, and Haley Matthews picks up the line. No need for her to follow that one.
She comes from a very short one.
Yeah, very short. She's got you thinking.
Yeah, and you got to be quick. You got to sometimes
Just before the release,
Yeah.
and I think that is, here's Matthews back and punching that. Can't find the gap. That's something which I think has been affecting Haley Matthews. She was pulling away Sylvester rather than getting deep and looking to bisect the gap there. If you pull away, then you lose power.
Yeah.
If you get deep, then you have more control over your wrists. You can be able to get your wrists working to where you want to hit the ball. That's a lot better. Down the ground, pass mid off, and getting an easy single. See the intensity. There's no intent there now. The long on Sylvester had to run all the way across there, and Haley just ambling, going for a single. I want to see the intent happening all the time. Rashada Williams was interested in the second run.
You see, there's a difference between Haley Matthews and DeAndre. DeAndre normally, always bring this positive attitude to her game.
Rashada Williams is playing beautifully. Wide delivery and just opening the face of the bat, using the pace and getting 2 runs. Now Haley Matthews got onto a bike and decided that she was going to get moving. I want to see her running aggressively all the time. You get into that rhythm. You can't be lazy.
But maybe give her the benefit of the doubt. She maybe thinks that's just a single.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So she's not going to put any pressure our waist. Maybe she thinks it's wasting
SWB
energy.
audio
I
capture,
get you.
not registered.
These boys bowl Nadine de Klerk for 14, 26 balls faced, 2 boundaries. Rashada Williams not out on 38 as we speak from 65 deliveries. Shedi Nation or caught Sukuni bowl Dane Van Niekerk for 11, and DeAndre Dottin caught Sinala Jafter. Excellent catch by the wicketkeeper here of Coley Tryon for 7, and Tryon continues to get wickets.
Yeah.
West Indies are 81 for 3.
But I mean, it's more steady now that even when Dottin got out, Dottin is out, and now we have Matthews coming in. So now that Matthews is batting down the order, it feels for me. I don't know. I think maybe for the team as well, it feels a lot better that Matthews and Dottin is not back in the shed, but one of them is still there, and it brings some respectability and some more confidence to the other batters.
And in fact, there's a little bit more balance, as you would say,
Yeah.
in the batting lineup.
In the batting lineup, I think they lacked that in the previous games.
Class comes in now to bowl to Haley Matthews, and Haley Matthews is getting a ball which is keeping low, but she's back on a cross and defending nicely. 81 for 3. West Indies fighting away here. Want to be able to get some sort of respectable total in terms of giving the South Africans something to think about. Matthews, Haley. This is her 53rd ODI game. Down the onside, umpire Joel Wilson will signal a wide. Jafter comes across, clips that off. 1,237 runs before this, and to complement it, she's got some 54 wickets, Haley Matthews. So really by her standards, she would maybe feel that she's due
SWB
a big
audio
score.
capture
Somewhere around
not
the corner,
registered.
you feel like she's due a big one. She just needs to spend some time at the crease. I can't overemphasize that. Class comes in now to bowl to Matthews. Matthews is on driving beautifully, can't score. And this has been good cricket. Mignon Dupree's
I
a
think
fielder getting down into the long barrier position.
I think that's the key for all the West Indian batters. You know, is application of the crease, and that is really denying them from getting that good total.
Here comes Masabata Class. She's into her 5th over. Comes in now to bowl to Matthews. Down the onside again. Again, Joe Wilson will signal another wide. Nadine de Klerk 5 overs, 1 maiden, 12 runs, 1 wicket. Sukukuni 3 overs, no maidens, 15 runs, no wickets. Daneva Nikak 5 overs, no maidens, 15 runs, 1 wicket. And she's got through overs very quickly. Coley Tryon 5 overs, no maidens, 16 runs, 1 wicket. So between the spinners, the South African spinners so far, 10 overs, 31 runs, 2 wickets. And Shangasi has started 1 over, no maiden, 3 runs, no wicket. And we're back with the pace of Class. And it's just a difference as compared to when she bowled from the Circuit Lambers end. She just settled into a groove, shortened her run from the Sandy Roberts end, and bowling more wicket-to-wicket deliveries. And if you look at the field placing for Hayley Matthews, there's no slip, a backward point, a cover, extra cover, mid-on, mid-off, short mid-wicket, a fielder on the more or less mid-wicket area, and a short third man and a fine leg. Matthews is just clipping this one around to the fine leg fielder, getting a single. It was just a little bit offline, off length, and picking up her 2nd run.
When you play in a series, it's like a chess match, you know, and you can see that they do their due diligence in watching, you know, each and assessing each player. And you know,
SWB audio capture not
so
registered.
they are bowling in terms of allowing her to score mainly on the onside.
Oshada Williams, she's 38. She now faces Class. She's batted beautifully so far. Very much impressed with her work ethic. And she's driving straight back at Class. And she's not afraid to get that bottom hand coming into play. 24 overs bowl here in the CG Insurance West Indies South Africa Women's Series. West Indies winning the toss and batting first. They're 84 for 3. They've lost Boyce Williams Nation. Nation. And no, in fact, they've lost Boyce for 14. Nation for 11, Dottin for 7. Matthews is not out too. And Rashada Williams has batted beautifully so far. She's 38 from 65 balls with 2 boundaries at a comfortable strike rate, Sylvester, 58.46. And she's the Desmond Haynes of the West Indies team because she wants to bat all day.
Yeah, and that is really, really good. I mean, at least as the series goes on, they found a reliable Williams in the top order. So they can build on that. That is something positive you can take over. Even though you lost the series badly, there's a positive light that you can really build on.
Shangasi is just turned into the onside for the first delivery. As Sylvester clears way. I've got to ask him about his golf score yesterday, but I'll catch you back. Oh, you had a good game. Oh, that is a good thing. That's a good thing. 81 for Sylvester. Wow. Shangasi is just punched onto the onside here by Williams. They should get 2 here. And again, the communication not aggressive enough. Hayley Matthews need to be able to get low and get onto a bike. Got to be running the first one very hard. So welcome back, Stacey and King. Still good morning.
Good morning.
86 for 3. Matthews is on strike. She's 3.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Could have done a lot better with that. Got to be a little bit more tighter. Hayley Matthews. Don't like when she's pulling away. She's pulling away from the stumps. You got to get deep into your crease and find that gap. Very, very, very important. 3.51. Shangasi comes in now to bowl to Williams. That's a lot better by Hayley Matthews, finding the gap right there. And it won't have the legs to go for 4. But they need to get 3 here. Hayley Matthews has just shot that down as if she's running a 100-meter sprint. And when she got maybe the 70 meters, she decided that it was only 2 she wanted. She goes up to 5. And Williams is 39. Runs is runs. You've got to be able to make sure that you run hard for everything. Every run is important. That run could have maybe helped the West Indies win the game at the end of the day. Changasi is only into her second over. She comes in now to bowl to Matthews. And Matthews is back and can't find the gap as the fielder inside the 25-yard circle closes that one off. Got to get a lot closer to the ball and to be able to find the gap and just keep her shape a little longer. She's got a good start. She's looked good so far. Changasi in now to bowl to Hayley Matthews, and it looks like she would have got a little underedge onto that. Jafter came around, cut it off. 25 overs bowled. We're halfway there. Williams is 39 from 67. Hayley Matthews is 5 from 15. West Indies have lost 3 important wickets. The wickets of Boyce, their captain today, DeAndre Doughton, and I'm missing somebody.
Shadeen Nation.
Yeah, 25.
I saw a media release from Cricket West Indies as to Anisa Mohammed. She has a fractured finger.
Ooh.
She has been ruled out with a fractured finger and is replaced by
SWD
Karishma
audio
Ramarak in the
capture
30-member
not
squad.
registered.
The selection panel has confirmed that DeAndre Doughton will now serve as interim captain and Hayley Matthews as interim vice captain.
88 for 3. Sukukuni switch to the Sir Andy Roberts end. Rashada Williams coming down on a Yorker length delivery. Just played that back quietly. Thanks very much for that update. Stacey Ann.
And since we're updating, Matsabata Class is into her 50th Women ODI appearance for Proteas Women.
That's why I have you on the team. Sukukuni,
Congratulations to her.
certainly. Rolling to Rashada Williams. Rashada Williams losing her shape there. Needs to find a gap. Just find a gap. You're from Jamaica. Somebody's got to teach you how to just be able to find the gaps, like the Everton Mattis and the. I don't want to put you up into the Lawrence Rowe era yet, but you know, you'll be able to, as you grow, you'll get better. I like her attitude. I like her work ethic. She's hunger to bat. She's driving again. She lost her shape there.
Yeah, just losing.
Yeah, and I think she's getting a little frustrated in not being able to score. Just got to get onto that heel and just ease it. Just stay over that ball a little longer. And Hayley Matthews also has to give her that level of assurance and that confidence to tell her keep batting, keep batting. And I think what the West Indies can do is just farm around Rashada Williams. And she's made her mind up that she's going to bat all day. Beautifully, well played.
And teams will pay attention to that as well. Just that lapse of shot selection in terms of losing her shape and in terms of being a little frustrated as to not getting off the shots in which she wants in this area when she's in her 30s. We've seen this previously from her. It's something that she'll have to work on as soon as possible.
And I was just thinking that with the feelers that deep in the
SWD
25
audio
yard circle, she
capture
could just play it
not
soft and she get a
registered.
single. That, you know, see, she's punching that. She could have just maybe just punched that into the gap right there. And she's rehearses to say, hey, I could have maybe just played that
Just
just
off
to
the
the left
hands
of
as well.
Jacqueline Williams, the umpire, and just get a single. But she's learning, she's working. And what I like is that she's improving every time.
Correct.
That is what I love about Rashada Williams. Sukukuni, a little medium pace bowler, is going to come in now to bowl to Rashada Williams. Rashada Williams is steering this beautifully down to third man. She certainly will get
Should
two
get
here.
two.
And Hayley Matthews is turning blind. And again, the intensity from Matthews. Got to see a little bit more urgency in the run-in there. 41 at the end of over number 26 to Rashada Williams. 90 for 3 as the West Indies score. Hayley Matthews is 5. Sukukuni's first 4 overs has cost us 17 runs. The West Indies winning the toss in the final ODI of the CG Insurance West Indies South Africa series. They're 90 for 3. Boyce bowled the Clerk for 14. Nation caught Sukukuni, bowled Van Nika for 11. And DeAndre Doughton, an excellent catch by the wicketkeeper South African Jafter. She's trying to get fancy, playing it well all day by trying for 7. 26 overs bowled, West Indies 90 for 3. First time we've seen Shangasi. She's a little tricky. She comes in now to bowl to Hayley Matthews, who is just playing it straight back to her. Rashada Williams just waving to the pavilion to get some fresh gloves. She's batted 26 overs here so far. Shangazi is Matthews getting a little fancy. She's got to be tighter. She's just a little bit too casual, just ambling there. She's got to stay side on to the ball, and Shangazi was able to turn her around square.
SWB audio capture not registered.
And she's hitting this one in the air and just chipping it, more or less like a golf shot. Don't know if that shot was on, Hayley Matthews. And she's now beginning to open up to tell me she wanted to hit that one over mid-on. She's going to have to be careful. There are big boundaries here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. She got a single, goes up to 6. It now brings Rashada Williams, who's on 41. She's back and punching that. Can't beat the fielder on the leg side. Just needs to find the gap. She rehearses now to say, hey, I could have got a single. Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about Shangazi and how many games she would have played for South Africa. Nice flighted delivery. This real good positive batting here by Rashada Williams. She's approaching a high score in ODI for the West Indies. She deserves a 100. But the first objective would be a half century.
Most definitely.
And she defends a nice good length delivery. Over number 27 is completed. Shangazi's first 3 overs scored 8 runs, 91 for 3 the West Indies. Shangazi has played how many games?
She's played 6 matches for South Africa in 2019 to 2021 span. She's more or less in for her bowling. Has best of 2 for 43. That's a good economy rate of 4.85.
So not bad.
Another young player coming through the ranks and given an opportunity.
She's about 22. I think I was looking to that to give you.
She's 25.
25, so she's been around for some time. That's
Comes
okay.
from Durban, South Africa.
Yeah. Lovely place, right?
It is.
Beautiful place. Beautiful people. South Africa. This series has been played with real competitiveness. The team spirit between West Indies and South Africa has been high.
SWB audio capture not registered.
In this ODI series on 10 wins each. So we expected, of course, a competitive tournament.
Can't overemphasize that the West Indies are without their captain, Stephanie Taylor. And then, now losing the captain for the series, Anisa Mohammed. We wish her all the best in her recovery. Sukukuni comes in out the bow to Matthews down the onside. Umpire Joel Wilson will get out his hand. And he'll be waving wide. Doesn't have the ballerina stats like Jacqueline Williams, you know. Doesn't have that flair. It's a lovely morning here in St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda. It's a lovely day in the Caribbean. It's a lovely day in the world. It's a beautiful day. 92 for 3. Hayley Matthews just batting outside of her crease to the medium pacer Sukuni. And now the ball to Matthews is driving. That's a good, elegant shot there. That looks positive. Just needs to find the gap. But the most important thing is she just needs to continue to look up the V for a longer period of time. She's such a talented player that she's got to be able to dig deep. Sometimes you have to scratch 100, scratch a 50, scratch a look at 30 runs until when you get you find back your rhythm. Much better, bang on target. In fact, just stay out in the middle, because you know cricket is life and you have to respect the game. You're not playing against yourself.
And of course, the opposition will work you out. I mean, Hayley has been around for some time, a young player, but she has been around for some time for West Indies. So teams will, with all the video analysis available, they will work out her strengths and her weaknesses.
She's driving, beautiful save there at mid-on. And had that gone past the fielder there.
That had 4 written all over it.
Oh yes, oh yes.
But that's the effort you want
SWB
to
audio
see from
capture
your fielders.
not registered.
As a bowler especially, and better yet as a captain. You want to see these kind of efforts. Going all out a dive just to save 3 runs in this case. I think that was Matabata class.
Class again into the action, getting out into the long barrier position. And Rashada Williams continues to really impress and put her hand up for the West Indies, putting a price on a wicket, defending her castle. If there's one bright prospect that has come out of this series so far, it has been Rashada Williams from Jamaica, 93 for 3. Sukukuni comes in out to bowl to Williams, and she's playing a naughty shot. She knows that. And lost her shape there. Over number 28 is completed. She survived that one, a wide and a single to Matthews. 93 for 3, 28 overs bowled. And she's approaching a half century. And if she gets there, she needs to get a standing ovation, Rashada Williams.
Of course she does. I mean, scored 39 and 42 in her previous 2 innings. So she really has shown consistency and maturity. She's shown what batting and spending time is all about. Opens the innings. Now into the 29th over. She's doing a fantastic job.
Something that the other West Indian batters have not been able to achieve. And we'll do some stats in terms of the amount of the time that she's spent at the crease while she's played for the West Indies so far. And that has been excellent here so far. Matthews is in strike. She's turning this.
Should call for 2.
Got to get 2 runs here. The intensity from Hayley Matthews. She's got to switch her bat into her left hand. And she doesn't, but she gets 2 runs quite easily. Still would just like to see her getting that engine going.
I just run the first one hard.
Very hard.
As the coaches would have
SWB
been
audio
saying.
capture not registered.
95 for 3. Matthews goes to 9. 9 from 23. Rashada Williams 41 from 78. Shangasi in now to bowl to again Hayley Matthews, who's pulling away and would be advised to maybe just get a little bit deep and just keep concentrating. No need to try anything different. Just look for the gap. There's a gap there and you could find it. Shangasi now to bowl to Hayley Matthews. Sometimes her body language just gives you that impression that she's getting a little frustrated. You got to enjoy batting. Still have to, even though you don't find the gap, you just want that one particular shot where you'll be able to find the gap and everything else flows. Shangasi now to bowl to Matthews, and she's pulling this one massively down to the boundary. That's a beautiful save there with the fielder coming around from mid-wicket.
The breeze.
You save a boundary, save 2 runs, it was said. She got 2, but she saved 2 there because that was a hit with some power.
And again, the feeling has been exceptional in
South
this
Africans
series.
have been on top.
Nice dive by Mignon Dupree's.
They dropped a couple of catches, but outside of that,
The ground feeling has been spot on.
has been excellent. Shangasi comes in to bowl to Matthews, who's on 11. In now to bowl to Matthews, who's looking to undrive. Can't beat the short mid-wicket. And the score remains on 97 for 3. Williams is on 11. Shangasi has been steady. And the South African spinners in the middle overs have just tied up the West Indian batters. 97 for 3. Flighted delivery, and Matthews in 2 minds there, but had to restrict herself. 29 overs bowled. Shangasi completes her 4, not for 12. Rashada Williams is 41. And Hayley Matthews is 11. 4 runs out of that over. 29 overs bowled. And the latest score here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. West Indies batting first. They're 97.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Good batting. There's a good partnership building here between Hayley and Rashada Williams. But again, it has to go a little deeper, especially in these middle overs. Rashada Williams has been outstanding. Hayley Matthews dropped down the order in this second game, in her second game here. And just so that she catches some form, I think that's important as well. Sometimes you just need to give a player another opportunity to bat somewhere else just to mentally get them in a good space. She has the potential. She has the talent.
She's past potential now. She's a world-class player. She just has to dig deep. And sometimes you have to put in that extra work. You got to keep developing your game all the time. Meantime, South Africa has brought back Nadine de Klerk. And it's called getting better at what you're doing. When you get to the top, it's not easy because people are gunning for you. So you got to keep working all the time and staying ahead of the competition. De Klerk comes in now to bowl to Rashada Williams, who stands up straight and punches this up to the mid-on fielder. The score remains on 97 for 3. Rashada Williams remains on 41. CSK 141 for 5. Super Kings in the IPL action which started today. We'll give you more updates on that. Rashada Williams defending another Nadine de Klerk delivery. Rain has delayed the match between England and New Zealand in England. England scored 197. New Zealand in reply 111 for 4 of 24 overs. So that's going to be a nail biter, hopefully, once they get to go back out onto the square. But West Indies fighting back here. Here's Rashada Williams looking to punch that pass.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Good point.
South Africa emerging women are also in the series decider, T20 series decider against Thailand cricket. I think that is presently going on.
Rashada Williams going at strike rate of 51.25. And she's steering this pass.
She should get two.
The Klerk. And again, Hayley Matthews not turning properly. She's got to be looking at the ball. She's just ambling, but Matthews get 2 runs. She goes up to 43. Like I said to you, she needs a standing ovation when she gets there. She gets to that half century.
Yeah, we saw her disappointment in the last game when she got
She
run
was
out.
needlessly run out. We don't even need to talk about that slow ball. And she kept her shape there. She's upset with herself for not putting it away, but she stayed over the ball nonetheless.
It was clearly a slow ball. You can see that from
a mile. Master batter class, 5 overs, no maidens, 20 runs, no wicket. Nadine Clark is into a 6th over, 1 for 14 so far, with 1 maiden to complement that. She goes from the Sandy Robertson in out the boat to Rashada Williams, is driving fiercely down to Sukukuni at mid-on. The score remains at the end of 30, 99 for 3. 99 for 3. 2 singles out of that over. Sukukuni, 5 overs, no maidens, 19 runs, no wickets. Dane Van Niekerk, 5 overs, no maidens, 15 runs, 1 wicket. Kohli Tryan, 5 overs, no maidens, 16 runs, 1 wicket. And Shangasi has bowled 4 overs, no maidens, 12 runs, no wicket. So between the South African spinners, they've bowled some 14 overs, picked up 2 wickets, and they've been able to put a break on the scoring for the West Indies. West Indies have lost. Boyce bowled the Klerk for 14. Shedi Nation was caught. Sukukuni bowled Van Niekerk for 11. And Deandra Dottin, excellent.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Of trying for 7. She'll be disappointed in her first game as captain for the West Indies team, becoming the 15th West Indies ODI captain. She's standing in for the injured Anisa Mohammed. West Indies at the end of 30, they're 99 for 3. And 1 more over set, and then you'll get you into the hot seat, so you'll get a chance to be able to expound a little bit more with Hayley Matthews. But it's been an exciting time here for West Indies cricket as we're looking at 2 of the future players in Hayley Matthews and Rashada Williams. Hayley Matthews just waving that maybe she just needs some gloves also. Big drive there almost. I think she has to keep her focus. She doesn't need to get distracted right now. She's got to keep batting. There's 20 overs to go. And if Hayley Matthews bats 20 overs, she could be able to get a good score. Shangasi, bang on target.
And even though she's coming down the order, I think it's a good strategy as well to have one of your main or should be better batters coming in later, especially during this middle period. You would have expected Deandra Dutton to still be there, but unfortunately she's not. So again, Hayley Matthews has to now see it through for these next 20 overs.
Dead ball signal first by Jacqueline Williams. Matthews gets a full toss. Should have done better with that. And the frustration is just creeping in.
She'll also be aware of that full toss that she missed out.
Well, where she hit across the line. So same thing, just hit it down the ground.
In the last game. So
that was a lot better. That was a little bit more control. The shot, her eyes opened up again, but she was in good position. Matthews, she's on 11. Shangasi now to bowl to her, and she's back. She can't find the gap again. Pulling away. When you pull away, you lose power. You gotta stay as close as possible to the ball, because Shangasi is really not putting much pace to be able to essay that shot, so you can be able to find the gap. Shangasi in now to bowl to Haley Matthews is back and just
Should
staring
get
that.
two.
Just took that out of the Jafter's gloves. She needs 3. And if she's running hard, she can get 3, but she's shut down again. The intensity, just not the running. Rashada Williams wants to get up there, and Haley Matthews is just coasting. 100 up for the West Indies, 101 for 3. Matthews goes to 13, Williams is 43. The name of the game is to get runs. Rashada Williams calls it down and says, hey Skip, we got to get 3 runs there. You know, it's very important. We got to run everything. And I think Rashada Williams also wants to get into the strike, so that because she's a busy player, she likes moving. Matthews is 13. Shangasi into her 5th over, comes in out to bowl to her. She's back and she's standing up straight. Over number 31 is completed. West Indies batting first, 101 for 3. Rashada Williams is on 43 from 84. Haley Matthews, 13 from 34. The current run rate is 3.26. Shangasi's 5 overs so far has cost her 14 runs. More comments from you, Stacey and King, and then with the voice of Seth Burton.
A projected score at this current run rate would get them to 161. But if they can take it up a notch to 6 runs per over, they can get to 200, that 200 marker that they have not just been able to achieve yet. But this is a good partnership building. 25 so far.
Yes, definitely a good partnership. But the clerk would like to dislodge Williams. Williams is defiant. As we look at that partnership, it's good building, and I like the projection that you have made. The question is, do you think 160 would be enough against the South African batting?
SWB audio capture
a lot
not
more in terms of
registered.
just about a 180, 190 to try and defend. And when I say that to mean the South Africans. Yes, there's Liza Lee, there's Chloe Tryon, who would have scored a half century in the previous game. But the strength of there's no Laura Wolvaert. There's still Danny Vaneke, who has that cricket awareness, those cricket smarts, as one would say. But West Indies bowlers have also bowled well. Cherry-Ann Fraser coming in on debut and getting her first wicket.
Interesting prospects here. Haley Matthews not settled, and the clerk just waving to say, I understand.
Yeah, but Rag would have fell whilst running in, would have just thrown off Haley Matthews. And just had a little movement behind her.
Matthews, she's content to defend. She has gone into a defensive mode, which is good. The objective is to build a partnership, and once she's there at the end, then she can always exercise or be more assertive. But I recognize within the last 10 overs, in fact after 21 overs, the West Indies would have been 76 for 3, where they would have lost Dottin's wicket. So the last 10 overs, they have not really been going at over 2.5. This one is down the leg side. So the concern is, I know that Shengasi has been bowling well. She has been wicket to wicket, more or less, to Haley Matthews. But have there been scoring opportunities presented by the West Indies? Have there been opportunities presented to take some singles when playing the ball in the deep, or to press a bit harder with the run in between the wickets? Thoughts for your consideration, as Matthew, in fact, now they are exploring the possibility of an impossible single, but deciding to retreat. So the question
audio
is,
capture
being
not
pegged back by
registered.
good bowling, good wicket to wicket, or good line bowling, do you seek other scoring opportunities, or do you just be content to play it out until scoring opportunities come easier?
I think what you don't want to do is try to play it out, because if you are too defensive, then things tend to happen. A wicket could fall, then you'd score a little bit of runs off a lot of balls. You'd accumulate too many balls and not been able to carry on. So it's important to just rotate the strike a lot more, and sometimes just that soft hands. The wicket keeper is back, bowler may just be in their follow through, but again, if the ball is left or right of that bowler, it's an opportunity.
This time Matthews goes, and she was trying to pull that one down. It was a slow bouncer, and in the end, it really got to wicketkeeper Jaffer. I thought she could have played the shot. The shot was on, but perhaps she was in two minds.
I didn't think she expected it.
Perhaps the element of surprise. But it was there for the hitting, and she was positioning herself, but perhaps she was not comfortable. She wanted to be confident. And I think perhaps there is a clear ploy that she wants to be there at the end, but also we have seen Rashada Williams being locked down in her scoring opportunities over the last 10 overs. She was well placed on 38, looked as though she was going featuring in that partnership with DeAndre Dottin. Since Dottin's wicket, she has only added 6 runs to her score, and she has accumulated quite a lot of dot balls. So consideration for the West Indies between a rock and a hard place.
And you want her to continue, you want her to carry on. And because she's been there, she's done all the hard work, Rashada Williams. She's opened the innings. But just being able to find those singles and rotate the strike.
This time she tries to rotate the strike, but it's not been
SWB
successful.
audio
What you
capture
don't want is
not
her to think that she
registered.
has to go for a big shot.
Would she be batting through and hoping that Hayley Matthews would take the attack? Shangassi with a peculiar action, very short. I don't even want to call it a run-up, just a few skips before that stride. 1, 2 skips. On the odd occasion, she's offline and will create the opportunity of just a single for Rashada Williams. Williams inches up to 45, and South Africans hoping they can just contain this pair, but at the same time an improved batting so far by the West Indies. They would have, there is Hayley Matthews this time going back and penetrating the offside field, and a big run here for Lara Goodall. She pulls it back, but a good shot on the part of Hayley Matthews, and she wants to come for the third. Lara Goodall has a challenge, perhaps favoring the right thigh.
Just having a bit of a limp, but again, good shot from Hayley. She's been trying to get through that offside for the longest. It was good to see that she was able to pierce the field, and that will bring confidence.
Certainly, she has been batting as though she wants it. You can see she wants it. But Sangasi has been really tight, really economical, well focused, and has confidence in her style. This one playing to Cleo Trion, and no run, but she has not been bowling. I have not seen the ball moving around a lot from her bowling, but she has a sense of where she's bowling at. She's targeting the stumps. She's
SWB
bringing the
audio
ball close
capture
to
not
the batter.
registered.
She's not bowling short, and only on the odd occasion that she strays down the leg side after 33 overs. The West Indies 106 for 3.
As you mentioned, she's just nagging on that fourth stumpy area, or bowling straighter, just changing it up within fourth stump and straight. Not doing anything much in terms of turn. I think possibly just being able to advance to her, again covering that line that she's bowling, driving more long on, long off.
So the standout for the West Indies, Rashada Williams on 45, in sight of a half century here. And South Africans taking a bit of time in their field setting. Perhaps want to ensure that they can keep things tight here. You see Jafta behind the wicket, perhaps signaling to Class that she could come a bit more just backward of the square leg umpire.
Chloe Tryon is the change bowler. A good single from Rashada Williams, driven that long on fielder.
Perhaps they didn't plan for that, because Tryon was indicating that that should not have been a single. Hayley Matthews will come into strike. Oh, she sweeps at that, but wide signal by the umpire, so it may have come
Just
from
missed out because there's no one. There's a deep square,
but no
and
one
a
in the
short
fine
square, but
That's
no
right.
one in that fine leg region. So anything on that would have been at least 2 runs.
This time she stands up straight and plays it back to the bowler. Clearly Haley Matthews is following instructions, I believe, from the coaching
SWB
staff.
audio capture,
That she
not
has to bat as
registered.
long as possible. This time, does not pace the field. Once again, we see the South Africans throwing the bodies around.
Yeah, to me, Sikukuni is good fielding.
This time she sweeps at that and misses out again.
I think she's trying to go too hard at it.
Could just get inside the line and flick. Tickles the ball around.
And just a nice little paddle.
Seems to take a bit of time, Haley Matthews, to warm into the thick of things. This time she gets it full and she pulls it backward of square. Only a single. She did not go for that full-blooded pull or sweep. She basically was a bit half-hearted on the stroke.
Almost like a jab.
Not quite sure she's...
But again, they've done their homework. There are two feelers, and she picked out one out of those two on the leg side.
This time it's Williams. Williams tries to work the ball into the onside, hits the pad. She may be in the nervous 40s, has been here for a while. Whereas it's good to think about the team score, she's also looking at an individual target, giving herself the first opportunity
And another single.
to get to a half century. And,
So easily done.
and that's all she needs.
Gets back on the back foot and punches past the bowler. And she's so classy. Rashada Williams.
She's a revelation at the top of the order for the West Indies women. And
At the end of 34 overs, West Indies women 1-1-1 for 3.
pretty much an improvement on batting so far, because 17
SWB
16
audio
overs
capture,
remaining.
not registered.
Would your calculation, your projection still be 160?
Actually, it is 163.
Let's see if you're a prophetess. Here is Williams on this occasion, just coming forward and content to be patient. She is on 47, only in her 5th ODI. Another good defensive stroke, playing back up the pitch. Temptation must be there to hit over the top, because the offside field, there's no fielder on the boundary on the offside. She's playing within her limitations, and
She should get 2 runs here.
at least could be 3, but the wicket keeper is chasing. They have decided against the third one. Jafta running all the way down to fine leg, in spite of the fact that she had good cover from Dupree. She wanted to ensure that she closed out the opportunity. Nevertheless, Rashada Williams is on 49 in sight of her first ODI half century. West Indies women motoring on to 113 for 3. Zangasi to Williams. Williams gets to 50. Works it around back, short backward of square, and you can hear the applause from her teammates. Rashada Williams, well done, Stacey and King.
A much needed. I mean, I could imagine how she's feeling. She's been close to that on 2 occasions. And in her 5th game, her 5th international game for West Indies, in West Indies colours, and she gets to that 50 off 96 balls.
That's good. A huge confidence booster, and the camp is responding. And
That will boost her confidence.
SWB
Going
audio
into the
capture,
future.
not registered.
And perhaps we'll see her approach for the rest of the innings, as she has gotten that landmark behind her. Haley Matthews faces and joins in working the mid-wicket gap and getting the single. So they're trying to improve the West Indies performance here. These two, they're just on the brink of what, a half century partnership as well. Batting well, partnership of just about 40. So Good over for the West Indies. Good over, a one which Rashada Williams would remember perhaps for a lifetime. The moment she
Indeed.
got her first half century.
Indeed, and she just had 3 fours within that 50. A strike rate of 52.08, Rashada Williams. But this period would be important for West Indies. Shangase has bowled 7 overs, 28 runs. Those are
Amazing
for 20
figures.
runs. Sorry, for 20 runs, meaning 27 dot balls. That's too much.
Yes,
That's the worrying area within this period.
it is. And look at her. I mean, she has amazing figures. She would feel happy because she was actually bowling in her spell from this to Sir Curtly Ambu's end. Again, with the breeze, the right-handed batters, they have the option of going with the breeze, and to have contained in 7 consecutive overs, it has been really a good showing on her part. De Klerk doing well, 1 for 16 from her 7, also going at below 3 runs per over, and the other 2 wickets for Van den Eyck and Trion, each getting a wicket. The South Africans, good bowling, but good effort on the part of the West Indian
SWB
batters,
audio
Stacey.
capture not registered.
I believe that we are going to see a different approach now by Williams, having gotten the half century, and perhaps this may be the stage with the last 15 overs remaining to see the West Indies perhaps pick up the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Renice Boyce got out for 14, a nice partnership between her and Rashada Williams, Shadi Nation and DeAndre Dutton all going as well. Rashada Williams and Hayley Matthews, this partnership now with 39 runs. It's much needed in this time. I mean, wickets have already fell it, but this partnership will, I think it will decide how fruitful, depending on how fruitful it is,
Yes.
where West Indies end up in terms of that 160 to that 180 marker
And
in terms of runs.
it's in fact the best partnership of the innings so far, because the opening partnership of 33 would have been a good one, but in the context of them, especially after losing DeAndre Dottin's wicket, these two realized that, hey, opportunities may have been there to be more assertive or to be more aggressive rather, but they decided to weather the storm, be patient, and they have been patient. But now with the last 15 overs, I think here is an opportunity for them to push on. They have the firepower. They have, well,
have
both
wickets
are
in
set. Exactly, and
you
they
have
have wickets in hand. So at this stage, but they would need to, though, look forward how they reassess the situation after the break, because immediately after the break, that is always a very watchful time for a batting team where you can lose wickets. And I think both of them, perhaps for the first 2 overs, would want to ensure that they're middling things as they have been doing, and then take it from there if they're still at the crease.
Matabata Class has bowled 5. She still has 5 overs. Nadine de Klerk has bowled 7. She has 3. Toomey has bowled 5. Dani has bowled 5. Chloe Tryon has bowled 6.
SWB audio capture
and Shangasi
not
7.
registered.
They'll need to think about which bowler they're going to attack. They've seen the majority of the bowling lineup, so they know who's bowling what. So somebody will have to be targeted in terms of, we need to attack this one bowler.
That's right. And which end perhaps they would attack from based on what is happening in terms of the wind. You see both Matthews and Williams, they are having their conference, their mid-pitch conference, perhaps deciding who we're going to target. Who would you target, Stacey?
and not just who would be targeted, but also who is going to target them in terms of is
strategy. Yes.
Is Rashada Williams going to bat throughout the innings she started? Is she going to bat out the 50 overs, or is Hayley Matthews now going to step up and be the aggressor?
Food for thought. So it would be interesting. Williams, the 1 on 50, she has seen 97 deliveries all through her innings so far. Matthews, 17. She's the one who is going to face. Trion comes in after the break, stifled the peel. Somehow they're targeting Hayley Matthews, particularly from the northern end, from the Sir Andy Robertson, the southern end rather. They're targeting her pads. We have seen on a few occasions Trion would have gone down the leg side. I'm not quite sure if they're citing a weakness or they're uncomfortable pitching on stumps from that end. 3 on. Matthews goes back and she cracks that. Good diving, well, tumbling save rather. Is it Sangazi?
I think it
In
is.
the covers.
Yeah.
But from the other end, they have been targeting her stumps. Let's see what she does. Works the ball nicely. Stretches forward, gets a single.
Yeah, they want her to do that play across her pads, as you mentioned, to try to get into that gap. Which is a chance
SWB
she'll be
audio
taking.
capture
But again,
not
this
registered.
is what Haley can do. She has that strength. She also gets back and punches through the off, so she'd have to work out what shot selections she chooses to use.
And from this standpoint, I would like to see that if she's taking the attack, that she takes it from the batting at the southern end. Playing with the wind. Williams, also pretty much a good onside player. Rashada Williams likes to play it in the onside, can play it straight. Is not as effective going through the offside. Haley Matthews may be better all around, but at the same time, her strength going with the wind. This time, this one has been swept. Slug. Well, in fact, I thought it would have been a boundary, but Lara Goodall was able to come around from that deep backward square position to save a boundary. That completes over number 36, 117 for 3. And Williams, though, will get the strike, so it would be interesting to see the approach after seeing off 1 over after the break.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it will be important to see who is going to be targeted. Shangase, I mean, they don't know just yet how to go at her, but they need to put pressure on the fielders as well.
Williams this time.
Push and run hard.
That has to be the approach. If you're not taking the boundaries, the running between the wicket.
You've got to force mistakes.
And I think she can be targeted. She has bowled well, Shangase. She has bowled well. She can be targeted. She floats it up. It depends on the power you think you have in the tank. Let's see what Matthews does. Her first delivery after the break. It's back to the bowler. She's bowling wicket to wicket, but she does
audio
not have the
capture
pace or the
not
drift.
registered.
I suspect that would induce a large degree of error if you're playing down the ground. Haley Matthews is content to be circumspect on this occasion. You can go through the line. You don't have to go aerial all the time.
But I'll give credit to Shangase. She has not changed anything from what she started doing. She's kept nagging on that 4th stump line, and she continues into her 8th over.
Rather disciplined, rather focused. Perhaps that's part of the team plan. She goes down the leg side on this occasion. And will Haley Matthews get a 4? Being swept. It will beat, yes, the fielder coming around and also the wicketkeeper chasing. Smart batting on the part of Haley Matthews, just paddling that one around.
Rashada Williams. A rare loose ball from Shangase. Just gets enough bat on it, Rashada Williams.
In fact, perhaps she's standing so tall after the 50, I thought it was Haley Matthews. She moves to 56 and really doing well. She believes perhaps she has enough time that she can even get to 100. I'm not getting ahead of myself. This one is pitched outside the off stump, almost a wide. She was a bit late on it. I thought she could have capitalized. Nevertheless, 2 overs have been completed after the break. Over number 37 of the innings, West Indies women motoring on rather well, Stacey and King. These two have batted well. South Africans have bowled well, but at the end of the day, I think it's quite a good balanced match at this stage.
Yeah, I think the positives, at least you're able to see positives within the last game and this game, previous games as well, but the positives here would be the partnerships, being able to
SWB audio
stay,
capture
and every game
not
they've
registered.
improved. It's small in margin, but it's improvement, and that's what the coaches, I believe, would want to see from the team.
Haley Matthews, the one who's on strike. That's about the class part of that South African fielding effort. They've really been fielding well here. This time she posed, in fact, Stacey, and you have said something. They have done their homework because that one was full. It was down the leg side. And I thought that Hayley Matthews had all the time that she could have just swept or could have just worked it, paddled it down to fine leg, but she has chosen, picked out Goodall on the boundary. This time Williams playing it just short of Trion.
Yeah, punched a bit uppishly. Was in the air for a bit, but Chloe couldn't get under it.
Stindy is just about to exhale. And Chloe Trion just outside. She steers it down, but does not get past Lee. I think perhaps the idea is that they would perhaps use the last 10 to go firing, because they have shown a bit of wide signal by umpire Joel Wilson. They have shown that they are not going rampaging at this stage. This time, this one has been worked from outside the off stump to the onside, and perhaps they're trying to work out, when should they pick up the momentum. With the South African batting, they need to push a bit harder than they're doing at this stage. Once again, good defensive bowling on the part of
SWV audio capture not registered.
8 over and 1 for 25, doing well with the ball. And the West Indies 125 for 3, 12 to go. Stacey, still 160.
Still within, that's the projected score for the current run rate.
So
3.29, projected score 165.
You were the captain and you were sending out some instructions. Who would you ask to go? When I say go, who would you ask to play the lead in asserting themselves at this stage?
I think Rashada Williams, and why I'd say Rashada Williams is because they aren't fully aware of field placings for her. Hayley Matthews, they seem to have it down pack as a deep square and a short square, long on, long off. They seem to have all her areas covered. So probably Rashada Williams really is the trump card.
Sweeping at this, a bit airborne, but no danger there for Hayley Matthews. And also, to add to that, Rashada Williams, she has already gotten a half century. She has pushed, in fact, their partnership is now worth 50, a 50 partnership coming up between these two, but Rashada would have been there from the start. She would, would have seen most of the action.
Should push for 2 here.
And that's something that they would have.
Restricted to 1.
That's something they would have had. They need to work on, because Lee was inside of the 30-yard circle at backward point, and that ball went down to wide third man. She had to run, turn, chase, pick up, and only a single. Let's see how Matthews responds to the challenge. This time she goes deep. Oh, just to the left of the South African captain.
SWV audio capture not registered.
Matthews seems like she's the one that wants to advance now.
Yes, she must be saying I've seen enough. But I think she's still in two minds, because you didn't see that decisive swing of the bat. Williams this time works into the onside, no run. You can hear the South Africans, they're buoyant. You can hear them in the outside microphone trying to encourage each other. Oh, this is a good delivery from Sangase. That one definitely beat Rashada Williams to complete over 39. 128 for 3.
I just want to have a little more runs at this point.
And I bet your message is coming out, because as they gathered there, they are moving towards perhaps getting a bit of refreshment and a message. Perhaps they're still trying to decide who will go, but someone will take the attack.
Good bowling between Shangase and Chloe Tryon. They've really kept things quiet between this pair, even though there's a 50-run partnership. A lot more possibly could have been scored. Just being a bit more aggressive.
Are you surprised that resolve came from that pair in particular? Came from the slow bowlers, the spinners?
From the previous games, no, I'm not, because that's when those middle overs is when Danny Vanek herself have come on and brought on some of our other spinners as well. And they've been really instrumental and destructive, I'd possibly say, in that middle period.
So that's something for consideration for the coaching staff and the West Indian batters. So Matthews has been indecisive because on this occasion she was backing away as though to play the offside. The ball
audio
was
capture
just short of a
not
length from the
registered.
end. Tucked it around from off the leg. Down the leg side once again. Wide signal by the umpire. Could be targeting that pad area.
And it takes them up to 18 extras as well.
Quite healthy. This time she goes back and she cracks it, pierces the cover field. 4 runs, a welcome boundary. It has been a while.
And Haley just lifts her head and drops it as finally I've gotten through that offside.
Yes, she has really been trying for quite a while, and that will increase her confidence level. This one was, yes, just outside the off stump, but she played it masterfully.
Yeah, diving Mignon Dupreez could not get a hand to it.
See how she progresses. Try on once again. Down the leg side, it goes through the legs of the wicketkeeper, and it will beat her. Yes, it will. It hits the ropes. It is 4. Is it wide? Yes, the signal comes in the end from umpire Joel Wilson, and that would be a happy sign for the West Indies because you just gave us the extras figures. It pushes now, what, into the 20s? And
22.
to 22. So the score going up, it really was not a good delivery, but it seems to be part of Tryon's ploy to Hayley Matthews.
To bowl into her legs.
Matthews this time goes back and she pierces the cover field. Another 4. Lovely shot, dissecting and bisecting the cover and the extra cover. And Class only going to retrieve. Excellent batting by Hayley Matthews. She's coming into her own.
Yeah, carbon copy of that previous shot. Gets back into her crease
SWB
and
audio
whips it through the
capture
offside.
not registered.
Again, a diving Mignon Dupreez cannot stop it. It just has to be retrieved.
Excitement here, Matthews.
So that message coming out really was important and possibly needing to step it up. And this is the time.
This time she gets it on the pads again. Wide signal. So Chloe herself is a bit confused because she was going to the pads, and once she conceded those 4 wides, once she goes down the leg side, does not hit the target, which is the pad, and she forces herself into Hayley Matthews' strength in her zone. Here is this one, shortish outside the off stump. On this occasion, it does not pierce the extra cover region.
Yeah, this one actually went to the right of Mignon Dupreez, previously beaten to her left on both occasions for those 2 boundaries.
143 for 3 Matthews, on 30 Williams, on 57 in this partnership. Really progressing well for the West Indies. This over, in fact, has been the biggest of the overs for the West Indies. We would have had 3 4s coming from this over. We'd have had the wides, well, a wide with the 4, so quite a huge over in comparison to the scoring rate. Hayley Matthews, nonchalant on this occasion, just tapping the ball out into the offside for Tryon to feel how quickly can a bowling figures change. 1 for 40 from 9 after she was well relaxed on 1 for 28.
And now being the most, well, the highest, has the highest economy
Rate.
Chloe Tryon.
Exactly. And the ball,
But good news that if they continue with this current run rate, projections are 180.
SWB audio capture
how
not
quick can that
registered.
change?
As I hand over.
Sylvester Joseph is going to replace Stacey and King. Stacey and King she's so insightful, really, and brings quite a lot. Vernon Springer has also come by, but Vernon would wait and over as we transition. 147 for 3. These two are batting well. Williams, Rashada Williams, works this one around but does not get a single. So Sylvester Joseph, quite an improvement from the last time you were on.
Yeah, most definitely. This partnership is really blossoming.
Rashada Williams paddles this one around. West Indies women inching close to 150. So it's really doing well. And the West Indies trying to push a high.
Yeah, we spoke about this partnership before I left the last time, and we said if they're going to have a competitive total, this is going to be a key partnership, and it has, proven this so far.
Yes, and Hayley Matthews, she has not yet been as imposing as she can be. She has been there just ensuring that things are stabilized. Rashada Williams has been the glue from the beginning. And in fact, the question is, we're asking who is going to take the attack? Your pick.
Well, it has to be Hayley Matthews. I mean, Williams, she's the anchor. It's important that she bats if she can bat all the overs, and the other batters will have to, step up the momentum. Only thing that probably Rashada Williams, she maybe need to show a bit more intent, in rotating the strike some more.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Sangassi comes up. Williams plays this one right across the line, and that's the end of her spell. None for 32. She has really been a thorn in the West Indians' flesh. She was just tight. Just outside the off stump, on stumps. On few occasions, she sprayed straight down the leg side, but they were unable to capitalize with the wind going towards the west with her bowling from this another end. Good end to her spell. None for 32, going at just an economy rate of 3.2. Sylvester Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, this is I think her first game, and she comes and shows that she's really wanting this opportunity, and she grabbed hold of it with both hands. She was very consistent, her pace, her line, her length, and she has a bit of variation in terms of she give it a bit of air sometimes, and the batters in Rashada Williams and Matthews found it very difficult to get on top of her. She really shows that the backup bowlers for South Africa, is up to standard as well.
So we're seeing the change in bowling. Hayley Matthews comes forward. This first one from Shikon Honey. She bowled well in her first spell. In fact, run for 19 from her first 5. And she can hustle the batters. She's coming from the Sandy Roberts end. Hayley Matthews drives.
I think Hayley Matthews, put herself on a lot of pressure by hitting too many of the fielders. She plays some lovely shots. Her timing is excellent, but she doesn't really pick the gaps as much, and that will, cause you to play out of character. Even if she's getting a single or two, the extra cover is out. She has to play it a bit later.
SWB audio capture not registered.
To get off the strike.
Once again, she finds Masabata class in the way for the second occasion, just to belabor the point that you were making.
Yeah, she has. She's that experienced that play the ball, even just drop the ball in front of you and pick up the single.
That's right.
You can't just
come soft hands.
Yeah, 4 or 5 runs over.
Between backward point and extra cover, because the cover is on the boundary. Should have to do some thinking now. This time, once again, full from the face of the bat, but straight to Trion. So she's picking out the fielders. And the fielders, she is under pressure, but the fielders are under pressure too, wondering when she's going to explode.
That's if she's going to explode. She's not. She had a lean. She's having a lean series so far, so she's not really as her explosive self.
This time she picks the gap, on the 4th delivery of the over. Playing through the vacant cover circle, or cover half circle, because there is a fielder on the cover boundary. Previously there was the cover point, the cover and the extra cover for Hayley Matthews. On 2 occasions against Treon, she was able to penetrate that area. But now with the new bowler, they have made the change. But here is Williams once again playing to Treon, and no run on that occasion. That completes over number 40 to Sylvester Joseph. 146 for 3. Williams on 58, Matthews on 32. Both have been batting well, and they have shared so far in a partnership that has worked some 70 runs. A good partnership for the West Indies, but the question is it time to push along?
Well, definitely it is.
SWB audio captured, not registered.
They have been out there for quite a while now. They pick up the pace. They have faced each and every bowler, consistently. So I think that it's poor batting for the last maybe 3-4 overs in them not be able to rotate the strike. They just keep hitting the balls to the fielder, and they're not learning from each other. As I said, you can play a bit with softer hands. You can basically softer hands. Rashada Williams, she was doing it a bit earlier when she plays just past the point fielder. But they both them just coming and stroking the ball to extra cover and mid wicket.
That's right. So we have seen now Class is back. Masabata Class comes in. Matthews charges along the ground though to the vacant mid wicket position.
Even that, she came and she could just touch it by the umpire, and they maybe get an opportunity for 2 runs. But you're coming now, there is no mid wicket. You have to know how and where you're going to score your runs, and especially as you've been there for quite a while.
Or is it that she was already down the track, so she had to go through with it? Williams faces, and Williams works forward of square. Mid wicket fielder comes off the boundary once again. So you're seeing a bit more urgency to score. Something that they could have done at the start would have been to pick up those singles and run a bit harder, being more decisive with the running between the wickets. Some turn the 2s into 3s, 1s into 2s, and force a few singles. Nevertheless, we must give them the credit for bringing a revival and putting the West Indies on par for a good score here at the Sir Viv Richards Cricket Stadium. This time Matthews goes down and she strokes it nicely. She just is so elegant in her approach. She bats with so much
SWB audio
command
captured, not registered.
that if she can convert more consistently, the team really can be a powerhouse. This time she goes aerial, just missed on that occasion, played into the cover region, and the ball, in fact the effort there was grasped, I thought, or may have just eluded the hands of the fielder. We would just pick up who that fielder was. It was really a big effort on her part. Nevertheless, Hayley Matthews was coming down. Masabata Class, the bowler, looks as though she's not so impressed by what has happened, Sylvester Joseph, because it could have been a wicket for the South Africans. Class comes back, and on this occasion it is Williams. They have gotten one. Hayley Matthews looks intent to get a second. But Williams perhaps a bit tired after that. That was a big effort though previously by Tasmin Britt. She was diving to her left. She may have taken the pace off the ball. Hayley Matthews didn't get the 4 but got 3 runs. Class seems not to be impressed. Once again her rag falls, so she would have to return. Picks it up and tucks it back in. The 150, meanwhile, Sylvester Joseph comes up for the West Indies. It's getting towards their highest score, close to their highest score in the series so far. Driven back powerfully by Matthews to class. Matthews not happy with the outcome of that particular
SWV
delivery.
audio
Class's
capture
sixth
not
over
registered.
has been completed. 43 overs for the inning so far, Sylvester Joseph. The West Indies 52 for 3, winning the toss and batting. Williams on 16, Matthews on 36. A much better performance so far because the scores, they have not gotten past 157 in this, the CG Insurance 50 overs ODI matches so far. We're in the 5th of those matches, and we would see by the end of the 50 overs perhaps West Indies' best total.
Well, yeah, in order to achieve that, I think these two, have to go as deep as possible to the end. We have seen in the previous games that, when you have a good partnership, especially coming down to the end, and one of these players gets out, it's...
Oh, Williams works this one nicely, just opening up the face down to backward point. They will only get 2. Thought they could have pushed hard on the first. Williams moves to 62.
Yeah, so it's important that these two go as close as possible to the end because, they always have a cluster of wickets, and those are the kind of things that deter a proper competitive score. So I think if these two can continue, even though we want them to, get some boundaries and so forth, I think if they go and bat the much overs and balls that these two bats, I think it would be better off for the West Indies.
Sekuhone, also one of the impressive South African bowlers, none for 22 after 6 and her first 2 deliveries. She has been able to keep Rashada Williams quiet, apart from that 2 runs that she may have gotten. Williams plays this one. The ball may have taken a leading edge. She was aiming to the onside, and they have not been able to capitalize on the second run.
Not registered.
Class had to go back, run from inside the circle, over her head, and was able to retrieve that halfway to the boundary, and only a single. They would need to pick up more runs through their run in between the wickets. Matthews, though, comes into face. She's on 36. She goes right across, and she's beaten. She was going across the wicket to pull through mid-wicket. The ball went between bat and pad, and Sylvester Joseph, she was attempting to hit against the wind. We have seen for the last few overs, she has been either charging down, and now she's going across. Hint of frustration, perhaps. She doesn't need to be frustrated. This time she goes across again and gracefully cracks this one, but the extra cover fielder once again runs off the boundary, and only a single. Sylvester Joseph.
Yeah, what I like with Matthews, I like the intent. She's positioning herself early she picks a spot where she wants to score, and she tries to get in a position to do that. And I have a problem with that. You need some innovation at this time, and just be positive and confident in what you're doing.
And get the runs.
But it's not, I mean, we have to give the South African bowlers a lot of credit.
Yeah, real good, outstanding bowling.
Yeah, it's not a case where you can, as I heard you and Stacey and was saying, probably you can pick one of the bowlers, but I mean, when you check out the figures and how they're bowling, they're very consistent. It's very difficult for you to pinpoint
which one,
you just hopefully that you try to be innovative as Matthews is doing. She has to play to her strength. I think her strength really is playing the ball over extra cover, through extra cover, either in the air or on the ground, and there isn't any extra cover fielder on the offside for Sekukune, so she can open up herself and try to get a boundary on the offside.
Well, Matabata class, she is ready to challenge Matthews. Oh, and she nicely gets inside the line of that and just tucked it over but not over the keeper's head, not down to fine leg, but down to third man.
Yeah, that's the
A
reverse.
special scoop.
That's a reverse scoop. You ever heard
The
of
reverse scoop. Exceptional.
it? She was in the position to
Look
scoop
at that.
at fine leg, but the ball was outside the off stump, and that is good innovation.
Level of confidence.
Yeah,
High confidence level.
that's real creative,
I'm telling you.
man.
Amazing stuff from Hayley Matthews. She looks a cricketer. She's an outstanding athlete. She waits. This time she goes back and she plays it well. Runs through nicely for a single. Rashada Williams must be tired, was still on the bat. Hayley Matthews is showing the intent that you have been asking for. She moves into the 40s. The score has moved beyond the 160. Stacey and King projected 161. Your projection, Sylvester Joseph, 5.4 overs remaining.
About 180.
180. Williams this time swings at that. Oh, and effort on the part of Cleo Trion. She was diving forward but only picked it up on the bounce.
I hope the batting coach, Robert Samuel, will do some work with Rashada Williams in terms of
Let's look at
her
that.
outside play.
Effort again. Masabate class in just outside, and Williams. Oh, good effort on the part of Trion. Didn't get
SWV
through.
audio capture, not registered.
Oh, Matthews swings it. Not Matthews, but Williams into the bounce. The wicker's head. She was pulling onto the Betway sign and now hits the C insurance sign.
She's hitting the signs.
Yes, she's giving the sponsors maximum.
Maximum.
So if you win, you can take the maximum opportunity to secure a CG insurance policy. Class man, into that. 67 Sylvester lacked a bit of sloppiness.
SWB audio capture, not registered.